Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at GrowFolds, and today will be local nursery plant shopping at Rubal's Plants of Texas in Dallas, Texas. As always, please make sure you are pressing that thumbs up or like button for this video, as well as that new feature, the hype button. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as please give me a follow on my Instagram. It is at GrowFolds if you have any questions about the plants or want to get with me directly if you have any questions. And also, I have a YouTube membership tier called the Super Plant Foldy for the price of a cup of coffee. It is one that you can get some member-only content. So if you like more plant content or anything of that nature, you can also join by pressing the join button. But anyways, plant foldies, for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. My name is Richie, and I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. You can see that it is super early out at Rubal's Plants of Texas. This is the Farmers Branch location. So there are several local nurseries out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and there are a chain of Rubal's nurseries. This one is the iconic one because it is in the heart of Dallas, Texas. So you can see right here, it is a beautiful morning. I woke up to travel all the way down to Rubal's. I ended up arriving here around 7:30, and so I wanted to get here before there was a lot of people going around this plant nursery, because this is a very popular spot to find indoor tropical plants, but also outdoor landscaping plants. So you can see that it is the fall season, and with fall coming around, we are going to be seeing a lot of pumpkins. So look at that. I love the fact that there is all this greenery in nature, and you see skyscrapers and the Dallas skyline. So absolutely love it. I've gone to Rubal's a couple of times. I've actually met up with a lot of plant content creators or plant lovers. So I just want to see if we have anything new. I'm pretty sure that Rubal's will have some new plants. And truth be told, I was actually on the Rubal's Instagram page, and there was a reel that was posted, and let's just say that I peeped in Aglonema, a large version of the Aglonema. So I definitely wanted to go back here and see if I'd actually purchase it. But you can see they do encourage people to tag them on their socials. So definitely follow at Rubal's Plants on Instagram and give them some love and support. But anyways, as you can see right here, they have their setup. So this is the pumpkin patch, and oftentimes locals and also tourists will come around here and do like a photo shoot. I didn't have anybody to go take photos of me today, and you already know, plant foldies, that I like to do faceless YouTube. So I really just focus on the plants at hand versus being on camera. I'm not camera shy, but that's really how I want to create my content for YouTube. But anyways, I am going to just chat away for today's episode. So hopefully you guys will stay tuned to the very end. Rubal's Nursery is an amazing one because they have so many plants at cost-effective plant pricing. You can see right here, the first one off the bat is a Monstera adansonii. Love the Monstera adansonii. And what I do like about Rubal's is they have a variety of different types of trailing and hanging plants. If you've watched my YouTube channel, and I would hope you guys would press the subscribe button right now with all the notifications turned on so you never miss any of my daily plant shopping videos. Know that there is a local nursery playlist on my YouTube channel, so definitely check that out. And as you can see right over here, plant foldies, look at how beautiful these Hedera helix are, or what you call the Hedera helix or English ivy. Love that. I love that, you know, these local Dallas plant nurseries really bring in the heat in terms of just the wonderful, healthy, vibrant looking plants that they have available. And I mean, take a look at this. They've got all these miniature pumpkins. So a fun fact about me, if you are not familiar to the plant foldy community, I am actually raising backyard chickens as pets. I have a Rhode Island Red by the name of Catriona, and then I also have a Barred Rock hen by the name of Charlotte. And I was just curious, with all of the pumpkins that are readily available, are these pumpkins only for ornamental use, or could I actually chop them up, cook them, and feed them to my chickens? So random fact, but you already know, plant foldies, that I like to share a little bit more about myself in addition to the plants that I am featuring today. But as you can see right here, we are actually going to the landscape area. So this isn't their main actual nursery. They actually have one further down, but I wanted to go ahead and take a gander, take a look before they fully open. I am being slightly bad because I think I entered this space around like 7:45 when I was filming it, but they did have somebody already working the cash register. So I figured I might as well try to maximize my productivity and actually get some of this content for y'all. But the first one up is a Croton Mame, and this one I believe is for $29.99. So you'll know that fall is coming around, especially in the United States, when you see a bunch of these crotons. And what is quite interesting is the crotons care requirements is it needs a lot of bright light, probably full sun, and it needs higher humidity levels and frequent watering. So that is really not conducive to why these plants come out during the fall. These crotons, like this Croton Mame, is actually native to Southeast Asian countries such as the Philippines, which is where my family is from originally. And just looking at crotons, they grow into full-blown trees. They really need that warm environment. So in the United States, or at least during the fall season, they are really grown as more of an annual plant, which is actually, in my opinion, a shame because it does take a while for crotons to grow. They're not the fastest growing plant. Now over here you can see for this price right here, we've got a Dieffenbachia. So here's the thing about Dieffenbachias. They look very similar to my favorite plant, which is the Aglonema. Again, for all of the new viewers that are coming around, thank you for joining. Just know that I am addicted to Aglonema, so I will be talking quite a bit about that particular plant. And then we're just gonna go ahead and walk around here. You can see we've got the common Croton Petra. I would love to grow crotons long term, but I think at this point with you know, summer almost ending, fall starting, and then winter, it is going to be a bit of a challenge to grow a lot of these plants over winter because I don't necessarily have, number one, the space, number two, the time to really take care and water these plants consistently. But I do love the fact that Rubal has them in smaller sizes for just the gallon size. So very pretty plant. The coloration of crotons, I really do think that you either love them or hate them. I absolutely adore them in the fact that they have very colorful plants. I always think, you know, the color of yellow is the color of joy. Anything vibrant like that, I absolutely like. So you can see right over here, we have the giant leopard plant, which is also known as the tractor seat plant. It is interesting that this plant is more of like a annual landscape plant. I am curious to see if anybody's actually grown the giant leopard plant indoors as a house plant. So let me know in the comment section below, and know that I love any type of engagement you guys can give me in the comment section. And just know that we only foster positivity, respect, and kindness. So please be mindful of the comments that you place there. Negativity is not tolerated in this community, and the plant foldies can attest to that. So I really appreciate the support for that. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So this one right here is a beautiful Croton Petra. Again, you will notice that these Croton Petras have different types of coloration. Some of them will have more yellows or more oranges or darker foliage. But as far as Rubal's plants of Texas, I mean, why would you not shop local? And I know that the majority of my content is often centered around big box store plant shopping. But if you live in an amazing metropolitan area such as the DFW or the Dallas-Fort Worth area, definitely support the wonderful local nurseries, local plant nurseries, small businesses, and Rubal's is also at the top of the list with that. I know that PlantCon 2025 in Dallas, Texas will be happening in October. And if you are not subscribed to this YouTube channel, definitely press that subscribe button with all the notifications. But I will actually be drawing up a video of the top 5 places to go in terms of local nursery houseplants that you can do in half a day. So it's kind of like a plant tourism tour, if per se. So definitely look for that that video. But as you can see right here, beautiful morning with all of these plants. You can see we've got a Dracaena here. And can we talk about the fact that Ruibal just has a lot of their plants in a very organized manner. I love the fact that they also keep their plants within the same species. Organization to me is really key. Like you can see right over here, we've got a beautiful Ficus Ali. Anything ficus related is definitely one that you need to make sure you're giving a lot of light. Ficus aspera, and this is also known as the clown fig. For me, the Ficus aspera is beautiful because look at that variegation. It has more of that minty, ghostly look. I don't really see these sizes for this type of ficus, so it's really nice to be able to go to Rubal's and find large foliage plants. So let me know what you think of that particular plant, and I'm just going to continue to walk around and show you what they have to offer. Foldies, you'll notice that we have a bunch of these assorted Dieffenbachia. Unfortunately, I don't know the specifics of the plant ID. What I do know is that Rubal's has so many of these varieties, and take a look at this. So we're looking at Dieffenbachia, but you can see that this is one of my favorite plants. This is an Aglonema. Unfortunately, these green varieties, unless they are labeled, it's very challenging, at least for me, to see what they are. This could be an Aglonema Silver Bay, but it could also be something else. It is very compact growing. This is for $26.99 in a 6-inch planter. One of the easiest plants that you can grow in your houseplant collection. And this one is actually in bloom. Here's the thing about Aglonemas in bloom. You really want to remove the blooms, and because the reason being is whenever a plant like say an Aglonema produces blooms, it's putting a lot of energy toward the blooms, so it doesn't really focus its energy on growing leaves. And I know that some of the plant foldies have messaged me saying it's really cool that their Aglonema blooms. Just know that if you choose to leave the blooms on an Aglonema, it is going to stunt its growth temporarily until the blooms are spent. So it depends on whether you want the aesthetic of having a bloom or having the plant continue to push out new leaves. And you can see right off the bat, this Dieffenbachia could easily be mistaken as an Aglonema. They're very similar in the look, but again, with Dieffenbachia, they need bright indirect light, more consistent watering. They're a little bit more spider mite prone as compared to an Aglonema. So some people like Sean of Only Plants mentioned that Dieffenbachia are easier to grow than Aglonema. I would say maybe in the climates that he lives in, which is in Indonesia. But for me, I just feel like growing an Aglonema cutlass, for instance, is going to be a lot easier to grow as compared to the Dieffenbachia, because this plant right here with its narrow leaves and its beautiful green foliage can tolerate lower light conditions, can tolerate being underwatered, or meaning that you may not be as consistent on the watering. So just a little bit tidbits about the Aglonema and Dieffenbachia, but you can see they've just got a full table, a full sea of these gorgeous plants. And yes, these are all just mostly green plants. And to me, the beauty of green foliage is just as impactful to say with variegated plants. And hear me out. I know that variegated plants have an allure. I think that the monetary price on it also increases the allure of it. But you know, in terms of Mother Nature intended plants to be more so green because it needs that chlorophyll to photosynthesize. Variegated plants often do not grow in the wild as well, or even at all, because it doesn't have the mechanisms to survive when it's starting to fight for nutrients and space as far as the green counterparts, if that makes any sense. Now over here, we've got a Raven ZZ, beautiful plant. Look at the new foliage, comes out as that lime green color, and then it darkens into a beautiful raven black. I love that it has a natural shine to it, and it is another beautiful plant that I would recommend. This one is in a 10-inch planter for $79.99. The thing about ZZ Raven or ZZ plants is that they tend to be a little bit slower growing. So if you want to invest in something like that where it's already fully grown, that's instant gratification. But look at how massive this one greenhouse is, and then we also have a second greenhouse to take a look at. Rubal does have rare variegated plants, this Epipremna pinnata marble. The only thing with that particular plant is it does easily revert, so you need to make sure you are providing lots of bright indirect light. If it starts to turn more green, you need to go ahead and chop it back to the last node with variegation to make sure you maintain it. We have a Pachura aquatica here, a money tree plant for $24.99. I am looking for a variegated version of this plant, but this one is still a pretty good performer in terms of a stable plant to grow indoors. It is also known to bring fortune and good luck. And then over here, we talk about Dieffenbachia. Look at this Dieffenbachia reflector. So it is a stunning plant. It's got a velvety textured leaf. The thing about these type of velvety textured plants is that they require higher humidity levels. They're a little bit more finicky when it comes to just like tap water. So you want to make sure that you're providing it like distilled water, rainwater is best. And in terms of this particular Dieffenbachia, if you're able to maintain the leaves from turning brown or crisping, then it is really one of those statement piece plants. I mean, look at how beautiful the velvety texture leaves are. There is also another plant called the Homolamena of camouflage that looks like that, and it also reminds me of like an Aglonema pictum tricolor. So there are different varieties of the same type of plant look, and Rubal's has it. And then you can see right over here we've got some more Dieffenbachia, and I'm just going to pick up some more specimens to show you. Great thing about going to Rubal's Plants of Texas is there are several locations. This is the one that I like to go to because it gives me a reason to go explore downtown Dallas. So if you've never been to downtown Dallas, but you also like plants, you can make this a whole trip where you can look at beautiful plants first thing in the morning. I believe Rubal's opens at 8 and closes at 6. You can probably, swing around here, spend an hour. In my case, I spent about 2 hours creating some content and really making sure that I showed you all what beautiful plants this nursery has. I do shop at this nursery. I actually met Janae Simone, one of my really good friends that also creates content. So definitely check out Janae Simone's YouTube channel. And in terms of just all of the plants here, yes, we're looking at just the plants in this particular greenhouse, but there are more plants in the main event. But this one right here is, I think, the overflow or just more plants. And if you're looking for a nursery that's full of plants, then you have to go stop by this location. Again, it is near the Farmers Branch Market location. And then over here, Stramanthe Triostar and Smart Care for all your plants. They also have a QR code now that they place on their actual plants to give you some basic care tips. And I do appreciate nurseries or even nurseries that provide to plant shops like Rubal's that give basic care tips, because I feel like if you have an idea of what you need to do for the plant, then the plant is going to have a higher chance of actually acclimating into your space and actually living and growing, thus making you even more inspired to buy plants. I mean, this philodendron sunlight, I would love to buy this as well. And that's the thing about going big box store plant shopping, or better yet, local nursery plant shopping. It is just so tempting to pick up every single plant. But I do have an intention to buy plants today, and that would be to look for the Aglonema velvet that I saw on an Instagram reel. I will say that social media is definitely a very powerful tool. It can be a tool for force for good if you utilize it in a way where you are spreading kindness, positivity, and just welcoming everybody. I think it can be such a powerful tool. In the case of just me seeing such a fun Instagram reel promoting Rubal's, I had to go over here and search for that Aglonema. So definitely want to do that. And I did want to shout out all the plant foldies that make up this community. So if you are new to this channel, know that you are welcome. Know that this is a safe space. Know that you can be your most authentic self, and know that we are here to celebrate plants, celebrate life, life and just hang out. And I really think that that is the mantra of this YouTube channel. It is always going to be, you already know, good vibes only. And for those that actually tuned in onto my Sunday live stream, which I believe I will start doing live streams where I do like Q&A or just talk to the plant foldies directly with my little kitty mask. Yes, I am going to stay faceless on YouTube. I did want to say thank you to those that understood me putting somebody in place when they were basically just saying some not so nice things towards me during the live stream chat. And the good thing about it is whenever you're doing live streaming, you can filter out negative words and have it under review. I didn't even let the plant foldy community see how negative this person was, but know that if you're going to clap and be negative, I am also going to clap back and let you know that you can't be negative or unkind. So let me just get off of my soapbox. You already know, plant foldies, I have to spread that message where just negativity is not welcome. What is welcome is a look at this Anthurium clavinarum. What a beautiful Anthurium, $27.99. It does have a slight cosmetic leaf damage, but I mean, look at that new leaf that is unfurling. Truthfully, I understand 100,000% why people love anthuriums, why people are going crazy over anthuriums. But for me, I have to have the plant and myself fall in love with each other. What I mean is the plant has to call me, beckon me to actually pick it up, look at the plant, court it, and possibly form a relationship with the plant before I really just jump on the bandwagon. I am excited for those that are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you don't know who Caleb's Tropicals is, know that in about 2 weeks, I will be creating some content where we are gonna actually do a plant raid at his home, and he's gonna do a detailed tour of his houseplants. I think that some of the plant foldies really like that houseplant tour. So definitely check out Caleb's Tropicals. When you think about anthuriums, he has amazing ones. And again, we want to support local businesses, local vendors, local plant growers. And so definitely check that out. And I would even say, as I pick up these plants, show you the beginning of this video, Rubal's always sources out so many plants. So yes, we're going to be featuring this part 1 of 2-part series for Rubal's, just so we can look at the actual indoor tropical plants. But part 2 will actually feature their gift shop area, where they have a plethora of different types of planters, plant accessories, books, just all the things that are very much planty themed. So stay tuned for that. I do think that Rubal's definitely deserves a feature on this channel, because this is one of the major nurseries out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We do have a very strong plant community, and anybody that actually visits Dallas, especially if you are going to be going to PlantCon 2025 on October, I think 18th and 19th in Dallas, Texas this year, definitely go visit some of the local plant nurseries I've shown you. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you some more plants. You can see right here, this is an Imidrium silver. This is a beautiful plant. The thing about it is this plant has to climb. This plant needs a lot of bright light. Otherwise, it will not fenestrate its leaves. The leaves will get smaller and smaller. And if it doesn't have enough lighting conditions, it's actually gonna just shoot runners, meaning it's gonna shoot a stem and a node, but no leaf. So that's the only problem about Imidrium silver. It is a beautiful plant. It's kind of like an Epipremnum pinnatum, where if you don't give it enough bright indirect light, it will also get leggy and not have any foliage. So it'll shoot runners. Same thing with Scindapsus too. So, you know, as far as lighting conditions go, especially for the plants that can possibly trail, but really these plants really want to grow up, lighting is a very big factor in the growth of foliage. Now over here, we've got a green Marantha. This one is in an 8-inch planter. And I mean, look at how massive this is. I love the look of that green Marantha. And then we also have a hanging basket of silver band Marantha. Now this particular Marantha was a little bit more uncommon a couple years back. This one is for $28.99. What a beautiful specimen. And I've had one of these before. I actually ended up buying it at a local grocery store called HEB for $5. And unfortunately, that plant went to plant heaven because I wasn't able to maintain the watering requirements it needs. Speaking of watering requirements, you already know if we go to a nursery, I look for Aglonemas. So I'm pretty sure that there may be some new viewers and subscribers. So let me just kind of talk you through Aglonemas. I am addicted to Aglonemas. The plant foldy community is addicted to Aglonemas, or at least y'all pretend to be, or just to be nice. I don't know, but I know for a fact I am a certified addict when it comes to Aglonemas. I need this in my life. I think that these are such amazing plants. This one is the Aglonema red Siam, and what makes Aglonemas very much a special plant is the care requirements, the varieties of plants, the unknown tapped market of Aglonemas. I keep telling local vendors and even major nurseries that if you are able to get plants from like overseas in Southeast Asia, honestly, if you have Instagram, go ahead and follow at AgloMart88. You will see that all of these large Aglonemas with such beautiful colors we don't see in the United States. So I truly believe with all my heart that this plant will become a trending plant, or at least a plant that's going to get a little bit more notice. The thing about plants, and as we look at some of these like classic plants like this neon pothos, that's my favorite pothos to grow. These plants end up becoming more trending because either somebody is talking about it, more content is being created about it, but even more so, the allure and the varieties of plants, that's really what makes people really interested. I know that some plants become very popular, very trendy because people are able to hybridize them, cross-pollinate them, create their own hybrids. Thus is the example of, say, anthurium hybrids. They are just popping off everywhere, and even with the variegated varieties of anthuriums that are coming from Southeast Asia into the US market, that's going to be another trend. But I would even say with plants that are trending, you can go to Rubal's nursery, for instance, and just find yourself classic, easy care plants for beginners at a very cost-effective and budget-friendly price. We just saw a bunch of Sansevieria or snake plants, and then take a look at all of these Dracaenas right over here. All of them are low light tolerant and drought tolerant. We do have a philodendron. I think this is either a mame. This one right here has a little bit of cosmetic damage. This one does need quite a bit of humidity in order to combat potential spider mite outbreaks because it's very susceptible to that. Then we also have a variegated Schefflera moondrop. What a beautiful plant. This one is often offered by Costa Farms as an exotic angel plant, but you can see local nurseries will have this one as well. This is my first time really seeing this particular Dracaena. This is called a Dracaena Christi. And what's interesting about Dracaena Christi is this one is for $21.99. But what's interesting is this is in a 6-inch planter with 2 Dracaenas. But look at the foliage of the leaves. It's got more of a yellowish neon tone, more so than the lime light, because it does have that green, dark green streak in the middle. What a beautiful plant. And again, Dracaenas. We talk about Aglonemas being the underdog, being overlooked. Dracaenas are not even looked at. I just feel like unless I am not watching the right content on YouTube, I don't see a lot of people talking about Dracaenas, and I do think that that is a consistent performer. I have had a Dracaena, for instance, that I have not watered for more than 2-3 months, and it's still living. It's actually not trying to go to plant heaven. So there you go. Now over here on plant foldies, we've got a philodendron golden crocodile. Look at that beautiful neon colored leaf, and look at the serration of the leaf. And then we have some more Monstera deliciosas. Monsteras are always going to be a fun plant to grow. I think that the green variety, the just Monstera deliciosa in general, will always remain to be a classic plant, even though it has kind of been overshadowed by a lot of its counterparts, the variegated types of monsteras, but I still find it beautiful. Now, I honestly was not expecting to see an Aglonema Etta Rose in a 6-inch planter like this with this quality. So I was actually not intending to buy an Aglonema Etta Rose, but yeah. Plant foldies, you already know, I'm gonna go ahead and spend $26.99 for this beautiful Aglonema. For anybody that actually works for Rubals, for anybody that actually is the buyer for Rubals, please consider carrying even more Aglonema varieties. I will even do my very best to promote people to go to Rubal's and buy Aglonemas the same way I promoted people buying all of those uncommon and rare Aglonemas from a local plant shop called Peta's Planters out in Garland, Texas. So, you know, for me, y'all need to go ahead and just get some more Aglonemas, but I'm very excited to see an Aglonema at Tarot's, $26.99. Look at the size of it. It's super full. And we also have some more Aglonema. So this one right here is an Aglonema Adela, and this one has 4 plants in one. So for $26.99, you can get 4 Aglonema Adela. And this one right here has becoming a little bit more readily seen in at least local plant nurseries out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Look at the faint pink stems. Look at the speckling of the leaves. Aglonema just do it for me. And I know that some people may not really be all about the Aglonema, but you know what? Sometimes people find joy in the most simplest things, whether it's just the look of the plant, the stem color of the plant, or better yet, just the plant itself. Aglonema green papaya. It is a more subtle green Aglonema, but I've actually been collecting a lot of large jumbo size Aglonemas. And then you can see right over here, we have another Aglonema. So this isn't 100% confirmed, but let me just put it out here for anybody that is a diehard Aglonema fan or anybody that likes Aglonema. What if I told you I was in collaboration with a major nursery to create and produce and publish a hard copy book of Aglonema varieties, and Aglonema care tips? Would you purchase that potentially at, say, a major international plant show sometime in the future? I'm just gonna put it like that because it's not 100% confirmed. We've got a lot of the written work done. We've got to get it proofread. We've just got to make sure that all of the graphics and everything is together. But I'm super excited because I've already seen the rough draft of that plant. So stay tuned for that. And if you are a plant foldie and you are interested in purchasing that Aglonema book, please, 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 I would love for you to leave that in the comments section below. Anyways, let me just continue to pick up these plants. We're going to go ahead and finish off this area right over here of plants, and then we're going to go into the second greenhouse, the main area where most people shop. Want to start their morning at Rubal's Plants of Texas? The beautiful plants that we are seeing, the gentle light of the sun just hitting these plants, and just the amount of varieties of plants, the merchandising, the health of the plants, the plant prices. This is just the beginning of the video, and I hope if you made it this far into the videos, all I ask plant foldies and new viewers, number one, make sure you are pressing that subscribe button with all the notifications turned on. Number 2, press the like button for this video. And then once you press the like button for this video, let's hype this video up by the new feature by pressing the hype button. Again, it definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. And to me, I would hope that this video can reach out to more plant lovers, because we want to support and promote Rubal's Plants of Texas, because today's episode will definitely go in depth with a lot of the plants that they offer. You're going to see some beautiful lighting, some beautiful plants, some beautiful merchandising. And as a side note, you will also hear me chat your ear off for more than an hour. So you can always press the mute button if you don't want to hear me talk, but you can also enjoy the relaxing music. This actual soundtrack is created by my friend Jordan. It is actually called Nutrients, the track that is playing right now. You know the saying, when people say plants make people happy, I would also say that plants will always bring us joy. And the fact that I was actually off for 3 days, I had a 3-day weekend, to wake up super early, to drive down to Dallas and just to experience Rubal's and to take you alongside with me, that is a lot of joy that I'm also bringing for myself. And hopefully as we start to walk toward this part of the nursery, you're going to bring, get some joy as well, because there are even more plants. I also love the fact that they do have outdoor garden plants. We're not really going to delve into that too much, but I also wanted to show you the gorgeous plants and the arrangement they have here. You can see that we have a beautiful Croton Petra. You know, I talk about like not getting a Croton Petra, but I might end up doing it. I just have to really get my space aligned and organized. But I mean, look at this right here. Look at all of the beautiful colors. I'm gonna stop talking for a minute and I'm just gonna keep just walking around and showing you what plants they offer. Feel free to leave in the comment section what you think. Definitely leave some positive comments for Rubal's, because I would love their staff to feel appreciated, because we want to show them that positivity and kindness, and better yet, let's spend all our money at Rubal's. The only thing that would have maybe topped this local nursery plant shopping video as I came over here early morning is maybe having a cup of matcha latte. I don't know if you guys are into matcha, but I absolutely love it. As much as I absolutely love seeing this gorgeous variegated philodendron giganteum. It is a giant plant, and you can see that it is a statement piece plant. Look at that variegation, and look at how Rubal's makes their nursery very much so seasonally relevant. So all of the sea of colors with the crotons, with this particular variegated philodendron, it is a sight to behold. And that's the reason why I feel like a lot of content creators will go out to Rubal's Plants of Texas, this particular branch, because of the styling, the merchandising, and just how full this nursery is. I definitely was not wanting to buy a croton, but I would say I was super tempted to the point where I almost picked up this croton, for instance, for $14.99 and thought about buying it, but then I went ahead and held off from it. I think if I had my home arranged and all of my plants in 100% stable condition, I would add more plants. But here's my thing about growing plants and having an indoor tropical paradise. You have to make sure that your space is organized. You have to make sure you have the right environmental factors to make sure that these plants will grow in your care, because if you're spending a lot of time trying to keep them alive, then it's not really satisfying. It's honestly more stressful, and plants should bring us joy. Plants should de-stress us. And this plant is definitely going to bring me joy. So I am so excited, plant foldies. It is still here. This is the Aglonema Velvet. This one right here is not a bad price at all. I am going to definitely buy this. You already know that I'm gonna buy this. This is another one that I intended to go shopping for. I wasn't planning on getting the Etta Rose, but I'm definitely gonna buy it. And there is a second one to the point where I almost wanted to buy both of them. These are for $49.99, but for a jumbo Aglonema like this, come on now, plant foldies, you would probably buy this Aglonema too. If you are a huge fan of Aglonemas and you have Aglonemas to share, definitely use the hashtag popularize Aglonema if you post on Instagram, if you post on Facebook, and if you are interested in buying that Aglonema Spring Snow. This one is also for $49.99. These are all in 10-inch planters, very good sizes. And then look at this gorgeous Aglonema Silver Bay. That is the classic Aglonema. That is also for $49.99. So success, I'm happy it's here, but let's continue on with this shopping excursion or plant nursery tour. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far, and I hope you guys are inspired to start your day off at some point and visit Rubal's Plants of Texas. So we're going to go ahead and look at some more Dieffenbachia, and this one is a beautiful Dieffenbachia Tropic Marianne. I think this one is also for $26.99. Doesn't it look like an Aglonema? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies. And I know I've been asking a lot of people to leave comments because I honestly love to get to know y'all. I love really engaging with the plant foldy community. So definitely let me know your thoughts, because right now my thoughts are, I wish I could be back at Rubal's Plants of Texas because of all of these gorgeous plants. So I'm just going to continue to walk around here and show you these plants. But I am very, very much excited that we found the Aglonema Velvet. And I am actually in love with this Tradescanthia Velvet as well for $9.99 in a 4-inch planter. Super cute. I actually saw this at a recently opened grocery store called Whole Foods, where I am based at, and I am really thinking about getting this. Tradescanthia are super easy to propagate. You can literally propagate them directly into soil, and I mean, that's just a really interesting texture. That like webbing, velvety texture, that's just really interesting. And I don't know, plant foldies, let me know in the comment section what you think, but would you buy this plant? If so, definitely go to Rubal's and buy it. It's only for $9.99. But anyways, plant foldies, let's continue to walk around and look at these plants. Have all of these plants arranged where they look like Aglonema. Like, I mean, this is a really good Dieffenbachia, $31.99, but look at how many plants there are in this 6-inch planter. Super full, super lush. Should I buy a Dieffenbachia? Should I go back to Rubal's and buy a Dieffenbachia? They have so many varieties, and these ones are super lush and full. I don't know. I'm so tempted, but I know that I'm going to spend way more money that is really allotted for my budget. I have to say it is definitely super tempting to want to pick up an Aglonema, or better yet, this Dieffenbachia right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in out there for anybody that wants to possibly give a super sticker, a super thanks, which is basically a monetary tip that you can give a content creator on YouTube. It definitely helps with the sustainability of the channel, and truth be told, it would possibly help fund some of the other plants that I didn't buy at Rubal's. But you know, jokes aside, if you do want to support the channel, that is one way. But really, just watching the video and engaging, pressing the like button is really all I ask for, because we do have such an amazing community here, and I really hope that you guys are enjoying this beautiful morning that I spent at Rubal's Plants of Texas. I mean, you can see this gorgeous philodendron pink princess and even more Dieffenbachia right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep picking up these varieties. So there's many different ones. I don't know the plant names on it, so I'm not gonna put out the specific plant names for these ones, but know that these are available at Rubal's Plants of Texas. And you'll notice that the Dieffenbachia, so it looks like it's been chopped in the very middle, and it has actually promoted at least 4 growth points per plant, so you're getting a lot more out of it. This one has several growth points, and if you look at that really closely, there's about 6 of them from the main branch. So maybe that is one way, is just to chop it all the way back to its stump and then just letting the growth points come out. Dieffenbachias are propagated through plant separation or plant cuttings. And then you can even see right here we have a variegated Alocasia adora also available, and this is really a pretty plant. That one is for $100 and $199.99, so it's a little bit pricey. But if you like alocasias like this, I would recommend growing this outdoors in a shaded area where it gets morning light like it's getting now, and it will actually grow very fast. we don't often see. This is a Dracaena white aspen. Beautiful plant. It's just very challenging to keep the white variegation from browning. So I am just going to go ahead and admire this Dracaena from afar, or better yet, just admire it whenever I am at Rubal's Plants of Texas. And then you can see right here, we do have some more anthuriums, and this is what I was talking about. Look at this gorgeous Homolamina camouflage. So they also have this variety, and this one is for $19.99. It also, does it not look like an Aglonema? Maybe I'm just going crazy for Aglonema, but basically these plants remind me of Aglonema. And then over here, we've got an anthurium, we've got a Pelea peperomoides, or the UFO plant. And take a look at this for my Syngonium lovers. This is a Syngonium Thai Pink Splash, $19.99. And you can literally buy this, and look, it's already got about 3 to 4 nodes you can cut and make propagations from. That's one way you can increase a plant collection, is just through plant propagation. This one is already starting to vine, so you can get more of that. You can root those in water. And then we have more Croton petras, but I mean, I'm just going to take a little bit of time to keep showing you these plants. So here is the thing. Here is the deal, right? Plant foldies, do you see what I see? I know you see what I see. That is an Aglonema red Siam, and I know you guys will see me feature this whenever I do big box store plant shopping videos. But have you ever seen one this lush, this full, and this compact? This one is for only $39.99. Yeah, so I wasn't trying to spend more than $100+ today at Rubal, so I hate the fact that I left that Aglonema red Siam, but I am really tempted to come back and buy it. Maybe I can buy it as my wedding anniversary gift for myself. I don't know, plant folies, let me know. So like I said again, if you want to support me and actually let me buy that Aglonema red Siam, feel free to either join my YouTube membership tier, or drop a super sticker or super thanks monetary tip, or even better yet, bring more joy by just gifting more people YouTube membership tiers. 5 lucky plant foldies, a super plant foldie membership. So you can see that that was only for $39.99, but you can see we do have more Aglonema red Siams here. Honestly, I do like the larger jumbo size ones, because if you see my home, and yes, I promise y'all, I am really working on doing a houseplant tour. I have my entryway, my atrium, with all of these jumbo Aglonemas in these minimalistic pots that I bought from IKEA. Yes, I'm very much into interior design, home decor, so definitely check that out. But this one is for $23.99. Look at these Aglonema red Siams. I already know this is like very common for people to see. Most people wouldn't even really grow this plant, but I don't know. Is that just crazy of me to just really be excited about that? It's the same thing with this anthurium, right? This is one of the more blooming anthuriums, but most people are not running to grow this particular anthurium, but it is such a stunner as well. I am saving money to buy this type of anthurium, but it's called Anthurium shibori, which is basically a pink variegated anthurium of this nature. And you know, it's one of those plants that I like the consistency of the blooms of this plant. $24.99 at Rubal's today. Let me know what you think about this particular anthurium, and we're just going to continue to walk around and pick up some plants. like the Calathea ornata. I mean, look at the pin stripes that it has and then the purple undersides of the leaves. But Calatheas, they just don't like me. I have sent so many Calatheas to Plant Heaven, so I am just going to keep them here at this nursery where it has better conditions for them to grow long term. And then we have a sea of silver band marantha. We've got some pothos plants here. We've just got a lot of plants going on. We've got a beautiful Syndapsis silver and look at that, and it's already trailing. It's got large leaves. And the lighting, I'm telling y'all, that morning light is really the best time for me to go film plants. I just wish I had more days off. I don't know about y'all, but do you ever just wish you didn't have to work, where you could just surround yourself with plants, eat good food, have great company, and just relax? Alas, that is not necessarily the case for all of us, but I'm hoping that someday I'll be able to retire and just truly immerse myself in plants and just being present with the people that I love. Because this is the kind of experience I want to share, not only with the Plantfoldy community, but I also want to share these types of moments where we can go to a big box store, or better yet, a local plant nursery like this. This is where we need to be at. This is where we all need to be celebrating because of all of the plants that, say, Rubal has over here. I mean, this right here is a Fatschederia, which is basically a Hydra helix and a Fatschedera hybrid, if that makes sense. So it's like an upright English ivy right over here. It is on a little stake to let it grow up. I've had one of these before, a variegated one, but it just hasn't done very well for me indoors because, you guessed it, it is very much so spider mite prone. We have a bunch of Dracaenas here, and as you notice, this is another indoor tropical jungle, a little bit more tamed. It's not like some of the other ones that we've seen at all the other local Dallas nurseries. But do you see the running theme when it comes to shopping local, supporting local and small businesses? You see quality, you see passion, and you just see such a great arrangement. And so I'm just going to continue to pan around here, give you some beautiful shots of this beautiful morning at Rubal's Plants of Texas. You can tell I love to play that particular track. It's called Twilight and it's created by my friend Jordan. I just really love the violin, and when you mix it with a beautiful morning at Rubal's, I just make it feel like it's going to be a very relaxing ambiance. Feel free to let me know in the comment section what you think of some of the music that I play during my plant shopping videos, because I am just really enjoying playing back and doing this voiceover to show you how beautiful the plants are. I mean, we are looking at a ficus altissima right over here, and we saw a bunch of beautiful large monstera Thai constellations. We've got some ficus elastica ruby and ficus elastica tanikis. Look at that variegation. It looks like a watercolor painting. And some of these plants, like even these rubber tree plants, I feel like are a little bit now underrated. I don't think nearly as many people want to grow these plants, but for me, the success rate for growing these types of plants that require a little bit more light is definitely taking them outdoors. I'm really a big advocate when it comes to growing your plants outdoors in a shaded area, especially in a time where you can basically grow them without having to fear them like freezing to death because of the weather. I do feel like a lot of plants, especially these tropical plants, if you can at least provide them morning sunlight and then protection from the afternoon sun, you are going to be able to grow them into large sizes. But that's just really my opinion. Some people want to just grow their plants indoors, which is fine, but I feel like it's less work when you grow them outdoors. I learned that not too long ago from my grandmother, my Lola Belen. And for those that don't know, my Lola, which means grandmother in Tagalog, which is the national language of the Philippines, she is 90 years old. For those that are asking about her, she is doing fine. I actually recently talked to her. She's working very hard to recover. She actually had a slight accident where she ended up falling and fracturing her hip, but she is a fighter, and she believes she will be able to walk without a walker within the next month. So please continue to send those prayers out to her. And she says thank you to the plant foldies that always send positivity, love, and really wish her good health, because she does mean so much to me. She inspires me to just show that kindness. And again, that is a running theme in a lot of my videos, is to remind people that kindness is everything. Kindness is free. It's easier to be kind than to foster negativity. And so if you, for some reason, get the thought to not be kind to somebody, kind of step back and think, do you really want to be treated that way? Would you want somebody to talk to you that way? Would you like somebody else to treat you that way? I am going on a little bit of a tangent, but you know, as I create this content, it is very important for me to utilize social media presence as a force for good, and more so just to allow people to be themselves, but to also be themselves in a respectful manner. That's going to be something I'm going to touch base on during my live streams, which I am going to schedule after the live premieres on Sunday. So typically I will do a live premiere for anybody that wants to follow me at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will already have a live stream scheduled to where we can interact. You can ask me questions. I might show you my plants. I'll let you know about my plants. So that's going to be more of a running dialogue for anybody that wants to tune in. Now, if you're just here for the plants, I totally get it. And you can see right here, Rubal's Plant of Texas, all of these gorgeous plants. And this is only part 1 of 2, because we're also going to go inside and take a look at their gift shop, all of the plant styling that they have, because you can see right here, look at this greenery. So let's go ahead and just keep walking around as I round out this video for today. You can see we've got some beautiful Monstera deliciosas. So if you want a large plant and you don't really want to grow it out, or you don't have the patience to wait for it to get to those sizes, Rubal's got you. They have some large foliage plants, and they are super healthy, super lush, and they are affordably priced. And they also have a bunch of these hanging baskets. So we saw an Epipremnum pinnatum marble earlier that was staked up. This is a hanging basket. So if you want it to be trailing, you can also get one of the trailing ones. And then we also have all of these plants right here. So you can see this is an example of the Epipremnum pinnatum marble reverting to green, which is fine too, because it still has the fenestrations. And then we also have more of these ficus plants. This one is a ficus Audrey. Mine is growing outdoors in full sun, and it is growing at a faster rate. light. I remember having it actually grow on my my window seal, south-facing window, and it still didn't get enough light, but putting it outdoors has really pushed out a lot of new growth. So that's really a secret of mine, or more so a tip for anybody that wants to grow these ficus plants at a more rapid pace. And then look at this. This is a Dieffenbachia camouflage, or maybe a Dieffenbachia sublime, but it is a stunner. So plant foldies, what do y'all think about Rubal's Plants of Texas? Did you see some plants that you wanted to buy? Did it inspire you to take a trip to Rubal's Plants of Texas? I hope you guys will actually visit this location. This is a beautiful one. I would highly suggest going early morning when they open up, because look at that beautiful Mother Nature at its finest with all of this morning light, this lush greenery. It is really good for your well-being and mental health, or at least for me. I've had a wonderful experience just taking you alongside with me. I am so excited that I'm going to be getting those Aglonema as well. As always, please consider joining my YouTube membership tier. Again, it is only for the price of a cup of coffee, $2.99. You will get access to more exclusive content. And my name is Richie at Growfolds. Please press that subscribe button if you haven't already, with all the notification bell on. There are some videos popping up on the screen, so go ahead and check out those videos. I will see you for part 2 on the next one.